And welcome to another episode of Live Forex Trading London Session Stream with your host, Peeling Mindset AK. So you can address me as AK, you can address me as Peeling Mindset, whatever suits your boat, whatever floats your boat. And guys, welcome to another session. Looks like yesterday was a really nice day for you guys. So I'm really happy. So yesterday I was really busy in meetings and we went out and that was a nice day. So welcome back to another episode of London Session Stream. So the guys in Zoom, if you can hear me, just shoot me a message saying I can hear you. So other than that, we are setting up the system here, just checking the YouTube. Oh, Nick can hear me. That's good. Nick, how's it been, man? How was yesterday's trade? Did you guys catch anything yesterday? How was it? So I'm gonna play some music as well. Just give me a second. If the music is too loud for the guys in the Zoom, just tell me and I'll fix it up. Okay, so who do we have in the house today? Looks like we have Jamil, we have Nick and Suresh in the building today. That's beautiful. That's very good. Just checking the YouTube system and we're gonna start in a few. Oh, looks like the YouTube system is working well as well. That's good. Just need to confirm a little bit of stuff here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, and the YouTube's fine. Okay, so Nick says I didn't trade. That's good. I mean, yesterday the market seemed really volatile. It was breaking lows and high at the same time. So I don't know how people got into positions, but still, the move in New York was it seemed pretty well. Seemed pretty well. So okay, let's break down the chart. Let's look at the levels and let's see what we can pull up today. Just give me a second and I will fix this up. Okay, so starting from the monthly again, so we have we have today and 2 more days for this. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. And the monthly candle has like 2 more days for the close, right? And let's look at the weekly candle right now. So going at the weekly, so the current weekly is still bullish. As we said, as we anticipated this week to grab its liquidity from the top before moving down if it was heading down. So till now it is actually respecting the previous week's top wick, so that's a good sign. But still, so today's daily candle, let's look at the today's daily candle and let's see what does it say. All right, so yesterday's daily candle obviously closed heavily bullish, so that's a really healthy candle. So we are actually very close to a daily resistance, the daily candle here. So the today's daily candle, and looks like today's daily candle has made its low already, so that's a good sign to begin with. And we are gonna check 4 hour here. Looking at the 4 hour, the current 4 hour is bullish, and it seems as if this could be a potential 4 hour support right here. So this marking here could be a 4 hour support, and we are very close to the daily resistance. Looking at the daily, right? So that daily resistance is still valid. Okay, I got a few of the guys messaging me on the Slack. Just give me a second, I'll just connect to those guys as well. Yes, sir. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay, so we have a few other people coming in the building as well. That's amazing. So let's just break down the chart and do our business here. So the current daily candle has obviously made its low and high. It is very close to the daily resistance. But when you look into the 4-hour, obviously looking at the 4-hour, so the previous 4-hour, what it did was it closed really strong bearish, right? And it closed below the daily resistance. So that's something to look out for, because you don't want to be buying around this sort of area, because it's actually very dangerous. Obviously the structure right now, the 4-hour structure, it does seem bullish. It does seem as if it's actually planning for any further more bullish movements, but we just have to wait and see if we could get any price break above this level. So 150 to 60, so this level right here would be our key level. So this right here, 151 200, is a daily resistance. So we have to see price breaking 151 200 and 151 260 furthermore for any sort of bullish continuation. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for buys above 151 260. Just gonna put that level over there, and this right here is actually a daily resistance, right? So Jamil here says good morning. Good morning, Jamil. Hope you're doing well. Hope you guys did well yesterday as well. So we're breaking down the chart right now. So welcome everybody. So I'm going to unmute you guys in a second and we will see what we can do, right? So until then, the current 4-hour candle obviously is bullish. And as we said, this vicinity could be a 4-hour support. We obviously have cleaner targets or a cleaner range on the downside, which is perfect. So what I'm going to do is, this structure may seem like a bullish structure where the price could break the top resistance and even break above the daily resistance, right? And close above and further continue up. But we have to sort of wait for confirmation, because around London time, we definitely see some volume. So let's just see what happened across the Asian right today. So looking at the Asian, so the Asian price pretty much ranged and it dropped midway through the Asian. So that's a good sign, because in London what we see is usually our London market can correct the Tokyo's move. So let's hope and wait if we could actually get any sort of correction at the Tokyo downside, and we could see price pushing up above 151 260. Good morning, Ricardo. Good morning. So Ricardo is saying good morning, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for the welcome. Thank you for the good energy here. So the current 4-hour has 3 hours and 15 more minutes left for its close. So we still have a lot of time left. And okay, just give me a second. So the first few minutes of the stream, obviously on the YouTube and on the Zoom, I always check the system if it's up and running, and I have to make sure everything is smooth. Just give me a second. So the YouTube is running well. YouTube is running just as well. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So let's look at the 2-hour as well. Obviously, I look at 2-hour as well for extra confluence. So what I can see is this. I can see that the current 4-hour and 2-hour is actually tapping the daily resistance price, right? So it's actually tapping that 151.25 sort of a level. And if it's actually rejecting that, and we could get some sort of close below 151.025. That will be a nice place where we could actually take sales, looking at the cleaner traffics on the left hand side. So we are waiting for buys, we are waiting for sales. Let me note it down here. So the current 2 hour has 1 hour and 13 more minutes for its close. So it's almost halfway through. But the current 2 hour tells me that, you know what, I may be rejecting this daily resistance vicinity. So if the London market is actually collecting its liquidity on the upper side of the price to further continue down with the Tokyo's momentum, that'll be amazing too. So we're just gonna wait and see how we can take any sort of buy above 151.260, and we could take any sort of sell below 151.025. So obviously the market's been really bullish as we anticipated. So in sort of a long-term view or a overall market view, what we want to see is this weekly candle sort of reject the upper side and further continue down, because we've been explaining how price has been bullishing up for like some time now, and we obviously need some sort of correction in the market. So if it's going to happen and we're going to get downside movement in the market, that will be amazing. So all these bullish sort of a move that's happening right in the beginning of the week, this may be a liquidity grab on the top side in the weekly time frame, right? So that's our anticipation. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set alarms for these price levels, because we actually do have cleaner traffic on the left side above 151.260. We do have cleaner traffic below 151.025. So that's actually really attractive. So let's just go into the smaller time frames and let's see what it's telling us, right? So this is our current support. The current 1 hour is going to close in the next 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Just give me a second here. Okay. So the current 1 hour is actually coming back in this range, right? It's also almost sort of a range. This one right here. Let me annotate for you guys. So let's just check this here. So this area right here is almost like a range for me. So if these candles right here was a breakdown and this was a rejection to further continue down, I will need to see price closing below 151.25. That way we do have a lot more cleaner range on the downside, and the range is almost sort of like 25 to 28 pips range, which is really good. And any sort of break above 151.260 is gonna be for safer buys, right? We don't want to rush in any sort of buys right here. It may work out, you know. Obviously we know people who want to be like a cowboy and they want to take a position when they're in a range, but it's too dangerous to take a position when we are in a range. We don't want to take a trade without knowing what the probability is, right? So we want to be in a trade where there's more probability to win. So I don't see any probability in any probability of buys sell right here. I have to wait for the price to break levels like 151.260 and 151.025. So all right, so the guys in YouTube, so what I do is when I come to the chart, I I log into my Tradingview account. So this is the site Tradingview. This is where you get all of the liquidity feed, right? So when you log into Tradingview, you can create an account for free. The guys on the YouTube, obviously the guys on the Zoom, they know about it. So the guys on the YouTube, if you go on Tradingview, create an account, you can get access to liquidity feeds of like a lot of financial instruments like a pound yen. That's one of the pairs I look at, and we're gonna look at gold USD as well. And after logging into your liquidity feed, another thing you will need to do is look into any sort of economical calendar event that's happening, right? So on calendar, it doesn't tell me there's anything happening. So around after 9 minutes, there's obviously a Euro news about consumer climate. I don't think this is gonna pose any sort of volatility into the market. So we're just gonna wait and see. Other than that, for London, it's actually a clean session. Doesn't look like we have any volatile news events, so that's a good sign. And the Sydney market's going to come into a close in 8 minutes now. And if you log into your Forex factory, this is somewhere where you can see economical calendar events, right? And you can actually see news as well. So you can actually see news feeds of like news that are just recent. So there is a news from Bank of New Zealand saying no need to remove stimulus. Oh, that's good. So they're thinking about pumping the economy, New Zealand's economy, with a lot of stimulus checks. That's good. We have similar sort of news here in Australia, where the government is actually planning to pay more, right? And they're planning to extend the stimulus plan. So that's something good. So I don't see anything relating to yen or pound. So that's the good news. I'm just going to close this news tab. Looking at the market, so the London market is going to open up in the next 1 hour and 7 minutes. So the session we are right now, this session that we are in right now, for the YouTube guys, it's actually a pre-session, right? So for London, that's sort of like a pre-session. We do see a lot of volume or price taps here and there on pre-sessions. So if this bullish 1 hour candle is sort of like a liquidity grab on the top side for the next hour and so to move further down, that will be amazing. That's the beauty about coming early to work, right? Because this is our work, and we show up early to our work to look at how price sets up for the further session movement, and this is just amazing. Okay, so I have a comment on the YouTube, and it's from .fx .fic. So how's it going, .fic? He says, do you normally take trades with 1 hour candle? So that's actually a good question. So in one of my streams, I think on the Monday stream of the 26th, I discussed about how I look into candles and how I discussed about what's my sweet spot. So .fic, if you look into any sort of trading plan, you will see that people who have practice of breaking down the chart from higher time frame to lower time frame, right? So my sweet spot to take a trade will be a 30-minute and in 1 hour. I have to know what's happening in 30-minute and in 1 hour to further take any sort of trade. I can't just base myself in one time frame. The idea of basing myself in only one time frame is just absurd, right? It doesn't fit my trading plan. And the way I've been profitable, I've always looked into at least 3 time frames. So obviously, as you asked, .fic, 1 hour candle, looking at the 1 hour candle is something sweet and nice. It can be a sweet spot for people, to base on, but you have to get a general idea of other higher time frame too. So you have to know what's happening in the 4 hour, what's happening in the daily before taking any trade on the 1 hour. But obviously 1 hour is much more stronger confirmation than 15-minute or 5-minute or 1 minute. So obviously 1 hour is sweet. Okay, so .fix says, thank you, Dost. Man, you're always welcome. Just come to the stream, ask a question. We are more than happy to help you with any sort of Forex question or even any other topic if we could help you with, So you're always welcome here. Spread the word about, what, there's another fella Forex trader out here on YouTube, and he's hosting streams, helping his friends and helping everybody that comes on. And we answer questions. We give out our positions as well. We give out how we anticipate trades. We give out every sort of information. So .fic, if you come in, man, friend, that's perfect. Oh, Jamil's got a call for the day. Let's give it a go. So, Jamil is looking at the Euro New Zealand dollar. So looks like he's already there. He's looking to take sales below this 1.67 level with a risk above. So the stop loss is around the high of this 15-minute candle. That's good. Looks good. Yeah, the targets on the downside looks better. If it's actually moving down with a rejection on the top, that will be perfect. That will be perfect. We'll have a look at the Euro New Zealand as well. Let me get some water here. My throat is actually getting thirsty. And we'll carry on with pound yen here and also Euro New Zealand. So, okay, looking at the current 1 hour, looks like 1 hour has actually rejected this 151.200 level, which was the daily resistance. So if it's actually rejecting and going down, or if that was a liquidity grab on the top for the London market to further continue down, that's actually really good. So ideally what we want to see is this current 1 hour to make a top wick, then start breaking the low, And if the volatility, the momentum is on our side, the volume is on our side, we may get pushed down below, and that'll be perfect. It's a good risk to reward on the downside, and that will be good. Obviously, the structure tells me, you know what? The structure tells me, oh, I am bullish. But we have to see what's happening in the intraday session. So what happens in London? What happens in pre-London? So we have to speculate on those facts too. So let's just look at the 30-minute right now. So the current 30-minute has made its lower wick and is actually heading up, trying to feel the wick on the left-hand side. So we are not in any sort of trade here. We are waiting for the price to break above 151.260. Once price starts breaking 151.260 and closes above, we are going to think about ideas how we can take buys all the way up to this target right here. So let's look at the left-hand side in lower time frame for any sort of earlier rejection points, right? So this could be a rejection point right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a yellow line here, orange, yellow, golden line here, telling me that, you know what, this could be a earlier rejection point right here. That's cool. So if the price is gonna close above 260, the earliest rejection is 10 pips, and further up 22. So let's see if the volume is gonna be in our side. And let's look at the Euro New Zealand, because Jamil is in Euro New Zealand here. So he took a trade from 1.67419. 1.67419. So this is something my friend here is looking into. Euro New Zealand. Actually, it looks good. So there is a rejection on the top side. There is a rejection, healthy bearish candles. If this candle is going to make a lower high at that point in time, hopefully with the volume, it can actually break this level and further continue down. So that looks good for sales below this level. And the reward is like 20 to 26 pips, which is a good sign for Euro New Zealand. And let's look at the I need to turn on music for the Zoom guys here. Okay. Oh, that's good. Oh yeah, so Euro New Zealand in 4 hours is actually sort of in a range right now. So it's in a daily range, is in a 4 hour range. Ideally what I want to see is if this is some sort of support being formed in a daily, I would want to see this level being broken up and price further continuing up. If there's anything nice, good happening in euro. Otherwise, because there are news about how New Zealand's actually intending to keep this stimulus up. They're thinking about how they can still pump the economy with the stimulus checks. So if that's happening, man, New Zealand's going to gain some strength. And if this range is going to be broken down, there is like few clear traffics on the left hand side. So we'll wait and see. Oh, and my dad's calling me now. Okay. So that's good. Euro New Zealand. So for now the price is actually bullish. Price is actually bullish, so we will need to see the price breaking at least below this level for any sort of further continuation, right? All right, let's just jump into GBP JPY one more time. And looks like the price is actually going up. That's good. We have 45 minutes left for the London market to open up. So as we said when we came earlier to the chart, if this Asian downside move is going to be corrected, London can correct it pretty well, right? Because we've been looking at the London market recently, and it has been correcting the Asian move recently. So let's just wait and see for any buys opportunities above 151.260 and any sales opportunities below 151.025. Price is still in a range. So for me, this is sort of like a range here. If you look at this, this is range. Let's just look at how many pips. How many pips of a range is this? It's like a 20 pip range. I wouldn't want to be in a 20 pip range. I'm just gonna wait patiently for an ideal trade. If it's gonna happen, perfect. Because the obvious is sometimes we do see this structure. You know, we tick the box where it tells us, oh, structure bullish. Okay, that's happening. Yeah, sometimes we see we just see abrupt sort of a volume in London, and we can't catch it. So we just gotta wait for confirmations before we take any sort of trade. I tell this to everybody, that you have to actually sort of wait for your confirmation before placing any sort of trade. So I am not in any sort of trade now. I'm just waiting because the price is still lingering around this daily resistance. I'm keeping the daily resistance in my mind as well. Obviously, the daily candle has made its lower wick. So if this daily candle could close above this recent daily resistance, there's a higher chance we could actually feel the wick on the top, but we have to wait and see. Because yesterday's daily candle did broke that resistance, closed below, right? So what is this daily candle going to do? We have to ask a question to this current daily candle. Is it going to break above, or is it going to close down? So the 4 hour is also looking good for 4 hour is actually looking good for the move up. 2 hour has 50 more minutes left for its close. We are halfway through the 2 hour already. Looking at the current 1 hour candle, it's bullishing up. So we are just waiting, not rushing in any sort of trade. We are just waiting. Muted, yes sir, using the price action. You have muted us on purpose. Yes, so for my target I will be looking to go long. I have another trade idea also. Oh, that's good. We will appreciate any sort of chart. So if you have a chart, Jamil, just shoot us up the chart and we'll give it a go at it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually give it a go at gold. I'm going to look at gold's price action. Oh, that looks good. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to remove all of the drawings from gold here, and I'm going to break down the chart from the daily. So, okay. So the daily is actually, the current daily candle has broken the recent daily support right here, and the current daily candle has sort of like a small wick on the top side, and yesterday's daily candle did broke below the another recent daily support that was created. So the structure tells me, you know what, it can go bearish. it can actually go bearish. So let's just look at the weekly too. Weekly candle sort of hasn't broken the previous weekly low, so still skeptical about that. So let's just look at the lower time frame. The current 4-hour is bearish. Right near this 4-hour support, there's another target right here. So the current 4-hour has made its top wick, which is a good thing. Looking at the 2-hour, the current 2-hour is also bouncing around the 2-hour support. So the previous 2-hour actually sort of rejected that support. So if we look at this wick, it tells us, you know what, this 2-hour candle did reject the downside, and the current 2-hour is lingering around that support. So if it's going to reject and close above this level, we may have some bullish push. So we're just going to wait and see what's going to happen, right? So 2-hour is halfway through in gold as well. So the current previous 1-hour has closed below the recent 1-hour support, which is a good idea. So the current 1-hour hasn't made a decent wick on the top. So the current 1-hour, if it's actually going to retest and make a deeper liquidity wick on the top before heading down, that'll be perfect. That actually will be perfect. But I can tell that just by looking at it, this level, 168.200 level, is a strong support. I can definitely see that. 168.200. So for buys, actually for buys, I would want to see price closing above this level for the continuation up. Let's see. It's actually slowly moving down, which is good. So is this current 1-hour candle on gold, is it actually rejecting the downside to further move up? Or is it going to grab its liquidity first before heading down? So we are going to wait and see what's going to happen here. We are going to wait and see what's going to happen. Okay, looks like price has broken above 151.260. That's a good sign. So let's look at the 2-hour one more time. 2-hour is still bullish and is actually near the resistance. So this is actually a really interesting situation here. Is the price gonna further continue up with momentum? Is the price actually making a support right here? And is the price actually going to continue further up, breaking this resistance and hitting cleaner targets on the top side? Or is it actually this current 2-hour and 1-hour, is it actually grabbing its liquidity from the top side and is going to reject and going to go further down? This is actually a very interesting situation. And to capitalize on this sort of situation, we just have to wait for the price to move in our direction, right? So for now, we are not in any sort of trade. We know that there are buyers coming above 151.260, so we haven't taken any positions after the price has broken this level. We know that with volume, it can very well continue up to this possible target, but we don't want to rush in any sort of impulsive trade. That's not a good idea to be in any sort of impulsive trade, right? So we have to sort of wait for our confirmation and then trade. So oh, sorry, I forgot to mute myself on the YouTube when I was coughing. My throat is actually really funny. Sorry for the YouTube guys. Okay, so do you mind checking this one? How are you planning to buy or sell GG with those key levels you have? So .fic says, how am I gonna buy and sell? So what I'm gonna do is .fic, I'm just gonna wait for the price to close below or above these key levels, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna wait for the price to actually close above 51,260 or close below 51,025. So this is a very interesting situation where either we get a heavy rejection, right, and we will see a very long wick on the top side telling us, you know what, the price can actually very well go down. Either we're going to see that, or we're going to see a candle close on the top. If the candle is going to close my way, if the candle is going to close something like this, and oh, sorry about that, I will draw it properly. For the YouTube guys, I'm really sorry because I coughed really hard and I forgot to mute myself. I just mute myself on the Zoom, guys. I forgot for you guys. Anyways, so looking at this, if this candle is ideally going to close up like this, right? And the next candle does something like this. So on the break of this high, just give me a second. On the break of this high, I'm going to take some positions right there. If the price is going to print my way, because I don't have to chase the price. The price has to fall into my plan. If it's not going to fall into my plan, .fic, I'm not going to capitalize on it. I'm just going to wait and enjoy the price action. I'm going to tell how nice of a day it is, right? So in other ways, for example, if this price moves something like this, if this price makes a wick and starts rejecting, man, oh man. This wick right here is going to tell me, you know what? This wick right here is going to tell me that is a liquidity grab. So for now, the price is obviously moving up. We can only have conversations about sales once we see this sort of rejection. Until and unless we see that there is no sales. So we have to wait. For buys, I have to wait for the candles to close above 151,260. That's my idea. Let me see if I can see .fix. .fix. Okay. Jamil's sending another chart as well. Let's just give it a go at it. So oh, and it tells me I can't access your chart. There's something funny about viewing charts these days with Tradingview. I'm not sure what's happening. So on NZD CAD, what Jamil is looking at is looking for sales. That's good. NZD CAD. That's good. I am not sure about this. I'm not sure about this, what this is, but I can surely see that if this is a rejection, so he's actually looking to take positions from 089948. This was from the other day. Oh, that's good. If you actually took it, perfect. Just perfect. If you got that, perfect. You got paid, my friend. So the London market is going to open up in the next 38 minutes. Let's see what sort of setups we're going to get here. I'm trying to see if I can actually view charts from YouTube. So I do have some of the list of journaling from my previous note. So if I can substitute some of the text from the end and I can help the guys on the YouTube, that'll be amazing. So let's just load this up. And okay. So the current price action is just there. Let me find the text from the YouTube. Check this one. I think we have both the same setup. Okay. Oh no. These guys have changed. I don't know. Okay. It's not gonna work. Just give me a second. What I'm gonna do is I will do this first. And I'll close this chart. I'm gonna do this. And then copy this. A lot of work, man. Come on. GJ is still there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is it's not working. This is really funny. Tradingview. So .fic, what I suggest is if you could actually send me a photo of that setup in like a drive link. I think YouTube does allow drive links. Then we could see if we could help you, because I tried, man. .fic, I did try. It's not allowing me. This Tradingview is acting funny. Jamil, how's it going?
Oh, oh, you unmuted us.
How are you? Good?
You can
You've
hear
been
me?
well? I can definitely hear you.
Oh, cool. Well, Yeah, I'm good.
How was your day yesterday? Good?
Yeah, finally went and played basketball.
Okay, that's good.
Pretty good. Um, as far as trade, oh gosh, as far as trading, entered a few things. Market was choppy for the other guys in terms of the GJ. I don't think they liked it.
Uh-huh.
Land discussion. So it's good that you missed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a nice day, man. That was a nice
Yeah,
day.
they weren't happy. They just like, oh, yeah, GJ's trash.
Yep. So
Right now, it's looking okay for, you know,
yes, actually the market is looking good. So the current half an hour, the current 30-minute candle is actually trying to close above 151,260. If this candle is going to close above 151,260, I think the probability for the buys are coming in. And if the next candle, like we discussed, if this candle is going to close something like this, just give me a second. Just give me a second here. Okay. So if this candle right here is going to close something like this, it's going to close something like this, or even higher, and the next candle closes something like this, does something like this, retest, and then further continuation up, that would be beautiful, man. But we just gotta wait. Jamil, was there anything you wanted to offer? Jamil, is there anything you wanted to talk about? I mean, on GJ,
well,
I'm just, for now, I'm just waiting. So if there's
yeah,
anything quick, yep.
yeah. So no. I don't want to detract the stream from GJ because whatever you're going to do on GJ, that's usually what I want to apply on other pairs. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know that move that you just drew of the candle. It would that be an impulse entry, or are you trying to wait for
That
the 30
uh,
minutes to close?
so if I'm gonna wait for this 30-minute to close, that means that'll be like 30-minute left for London
Yeah.
Open, right? So that's like
Mm.
that's one of the prime time for the volume to kick in. 30 minutes before the market opens, so that's one of the prime times. So if there's any volume coming in after the 30-minute close, I may get that 8 to 10 8 to 10 pips sort of a push, and that'll be ideal for me because I don't expect to get any big chunk. You know, I'm happy with just like 8 to 10 or 8 to like 12 pips. Once I secure, that's just what I do. So especially for the idea of impulse, it can work because looking at the structure, looking at the market time, and obviously volume has to kick in for the position to like actually happen, and that'll be an impulse with a pending. That'll not be an impulse with the market execution. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
Yep. So if the volume's gonna push the price in my direction, perfect. If it's not gonna push the price in my direction, then it's not gonna be real. So
Okay. Okay.
that's
So,
something
so
I'm.
you're gonna set a pending, or you set it already?
No, there's no pending. I have to wait
Oh.
for the price to close above 151 to
Oh.
60. I
Oh.
am
First
I
trade.
am
Yeah.
not in any sort of trade right now.
All right. So if you switch the NZD CAD, so it's in an obvious downtrend, and the 22nd I posted a trade. It's thankfully gone in that direction, but I think another opportunity has presented itself, and if all your rules are applied on the 30-minute, it's possible that there's something. You see here, yeah, exactly. So here I'm thinking if it closes below, there's those clean candles all the way to the 0.88 100. So I don't know if that's correct.
Okay, let me give it a go with the NZD CAD. Let's see. So the current weekly candle is obviously bearish. It has sort of respected the previous weekly lower wick. So it's actually a little bit funny on the NZD CAD too. To be honest, I would actually wait for any sort of buys in NZD CAD than sells. You know why? Because this right here is telling me that this is a very strong weekly support. And the news that we recently just had a look at about NZD telling us that, you know what, NZD is still gonna pump the is still gonna pump the economy with stimulus, and Canada's in actually lockdown and stuff, and it's actually gonna extend its lockdown, further lockdown. So it's sort of funny. So if there's any sales coming in, I'll wait for this weekly to actually properly set up, this current weekly. Because this, the current weekly is the first weekly candle that's bearish. You know what I mean? So in an overall time frame, I do see this. If you just look at this, I'm giving you an overall time frame perspective. So if you look at this, we do have a rejection. We do have a healthy candle. We do have healthy candles going down. So if this is sort of like a lower high being created, I'll have to wait for this weekly candle to set me up for the next week. Because this is the first weekly candle that's going down. I cannot capitalize on a simple fact that, you know what, oh, this is bearish. I have to wait for this candle to actually establish a bearish market by closing bearish first. That's like a overall time frame bias for sales. Obviously, if this candle is going to respect the previous weekly candle's low, there's a higher probability that, you know what, price can break this resistance and further fill this wick and go on the top, because NZD is planning to pump stimulus to its economy. So that's one of the things to be careful about. But obviously, looking at the technical in this session, the current daily candle is sort of rejecting the downside right now and is actually above the previous daily support. And let's look at the 4-hour. The current 4-hour is above the previous 4-hour support, so that's a no for me. That's a no support level. So this right here is a support level that matches the previous support level too. So that's very funny. I wouldn't want to take any sort of buy, any sort of sell here, because price can tap this level and head up. But the structure on 4-hour also tells me that, you know what, if the price is going to close below this level, we have a higher chance of price moving down, because there's actually a very appealing traffic on the left hand side. Look at this. But I wouldn't be greedy just looking at the target. You know what I mean? The market has to sort of incline to my direction before I take any sort of position. And the current 4-hour, is actually making its lower wick. This can be making a lower wick before heading up. So what I would want to see is, if this current 4-hour is rejecting any sort of level, first it has to actually reject this level with a top wick, a deeper wick, maybe a deeper wick. So this current market situation is very funny for me. The structure tells me it's bearish, but the previous 4-hour is a huge freaking bullish candle, which doesn't suggest a cleaner sell idea. Okay, now let's look at the 2-hour. So looking at the 2-hour,
when you say deeper wick,
yep.
Do you mean lower, or you mean it going higher?
For sales, I would want to see a higher wick. For sales.
Is that what you mean by deeper?
No, when I'm saying deeper wick, if I was talking about a buy, a deeper wick will be on the downside. If I was talking about sales, a deeper wick will be on the upside. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, embedded in the in the resist. Okay, yeah, okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep, and the market here is obviously rangy. Look at the wicks. It's not pretty at all. So this is like a no for me. I'm not going to take any position here. I'm just going to wait for the price to close below this level, 0.89210. Then that'll be a nice place where I could take actually a sell. And it's 40 pips of clean traffic. So I can easily squeeze like 20 to 22 pips out of 40.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I'm just gonna wait, man. This is like a no. The price is collecting its order here. So
no trade zone.
Yep, for
Okay.
me, for me.
No. Yeah,
Yep.
that's correct. That's fine. No, yeah. Perfect. No, so you see what I did, yeah? Like, I probably took a very tiny lot size, like the 20-second, and just let it trail down. But where I want to take your kind of size, yeah, is not is after the trade zone, after the no trade zone. Yeah,
Yeah, the current
and
price
that's what.
action is telling me that, you know what, it's consolidating here. So it's risky. So you don't want to be in here.
Yeah,
To start with, for sales, to start with, you want to see price breaking below this yellow level and breaking this low and start heading down. Until and unless price does that, there's no sell, man.
yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my take. So you will obviously see, because the New Zealand's news about pumping the economy with stimulus is gonna attract people to its instrument, and you're gonna see volume. Obviously, you're gonna see volume in the next few days or the next week. As I said, if this weekly candle is gonna establish, just give me a second. So if this weekly candle is gonna establish, you know what? We are rejecting. This is a strong resistance. Then investors are going to put in their money into NZD's instrument. So that's how they will put the money. And if this weekly candle is going to close bullish, respecting the previous candle's high, there's a higher chance the NZD is going to get some strength and going to fuel the upper wick. So for the intraday session, I'll be waiting for the price to break below below this level for cleaner sort of setups.
Yeah.
Cleaner sort of setups. Other than that, I'll just wait.
Good. Good. All right.
That's my take on that. So looking at the GJ right now, so what GJ is doing is it's actually rejecting the top side. The current 1 hour has like 22 minutes left for its close. We are not in any sort of position yet. So the guys on YouTube, guys on Zoom, we are still waiting for our ideal setup. So as we said, we gave 2 anticipation. So we have to wait for the price to do some sort of maneuver in our direction, right? For sales, we are waiting for the price to close below 151.25. For buys, we are waiting for the price to close above 151.260. That's one of the hardest things in trading, right? Waiting. People don't want to wait. They just want to jump in a trade. Anticipating with their hunches. That doesn't work like that. You have to define your entry really well. You have to know how the candle's going to print. Then only you will take a position. If you randomly take a position and you gain a random reward, and you will be happy with the random reward, you're punishing yourself in terms of like a holistic future trading approach, right? Because in trading career, you shouldn't be happy with any sort of random reward. Trust me. This is I'm talking about psychology here. So the current 1 hour is doing exactly what we said, right? So if it's actually gonna give us any sort of sell, it's actually rejecting the top side. So just give me a second here. So as I said, if this deeper wick on the top side is going to serve us as a liquidity grab to go down, man, oh man, we have enough time to take position, right? Obviously, if the price is going to rush down, we don't have enough time. But if it's going to reject and if it's going to start heading down, we have enough time to take sells below this level. So we're just going to wait. The structure tells me that, you know what, it can go bullish. For bullish, I have to wait for this. For any sort of bullish position, I have to wait for this. Close. For any sort of sell, I have to wait for this. See, it's so beautiful. I'm talking to myself and I'm telling myself to wait, man. That's one of the best things. There's nobody else telling me to stop. It's me knowingly telling myself, you know what? If I want to be profitable, I have to freaking wait. I have to wait. And very well, if we're not going to get any sort of move, the price can bounce up and down in this range until New York. But we see how the price sets up. Obviously, the move through the Tokyo has been corrected by the London market. See how the London market actually corrected the Tokyo move? It actually corrected all of the movement. So if it's actually going to further continue up with the yesterday's momentum, perfect. If it's going to go down, we have to see close below 150 or 25. Until and unless that happens, I'm not taking a position. So that's the case here. So we are not in any sort of buy, any sort of sell. There can be some of the cowboys online taking positions. So, and misleading people. So I'm not one of those. I actively encourage people to wait for their ideal setup, right? And the guys on the YouTube, so how you can help yourself is if you're going to actually see how traders wait for the ideal setup, right? If you have to sort of note it down, and you have to journal these things too, the people discussing about ideas, and apply it on your side too, right? So that's how you can be helped, or it's actually going to help you. Just give me a second. Okay, now we are okay. So the current 2-hour candle is going to close in the next 16 minutes. So we got to wait and see what this current 2 hour is going to tell us. Is the current 2-hour candle actually rejecting the top side and is going to head down, or what is it going to do? We're just waiting, and we will know in a few seconds. So the current 1 hour also has like 16 more minutes for close. Is the current 1 hour actually rejecting the top side, this resistance? It has already corrected the Tokyo market. So what is it going to do now? So the volume, potential volume may be coming in the next 16 minutes. We haven't seen any sort of candle close above 151 to 60. Or any sort of candle close below this level. So there is no positions taken yet. We should always put ourselves in the best position to win, and we are waiting. So that's one of the best ways to be in the best position, right? So you're just waiting. That is already a best position. You're not just rushing into any sort of trade. You have to wait and wait. So the price is in a range, and in 15 minutes, in 5 minutes, you can definitely see that price has tapped that top level, and it's sort of sorry. Oh my god. So price is sort of rejecting that. So the 15-minute has closed below the daily resistance, the previous 15-minute candle. So ideally, if this current 15-minute candle makes a top wick before breaking the low and further continuing down, that will be perfect. But we gotta wait and see what this current 15-minute candle does. This 15-minute candle is also going to be the close of the hour. So we will see how market tells us its story here. We actually have more people here in the Zoom community today, so that's a good thing. And for the new guys, hello guys. We've been streaming London session and talking about ideas here for some time now. And welcome. Share your ideas, ask questions. It's a fun stream. So have a wonderful time. So the current 15-minute candle is still bearish. It has broken the current 5-minute candle has broken the previous 5 minutes support low. So that's good. The price is in our 20 pips range. We are in a range. So top of the range, bottom of the range, top of the range, bottom of the range, top of the range, potentially bottom of the range, and further continue down. Right, so we are waiting for this to happen. If it's going down, wait and see. Let's look at the 1 minute as well, because 1 minute gives us some sort of detail as well. The 1 minute tells me that, 1 minute structure tells me they can actually head down. So 1 minute is telling me that it can actually head down. Let's see what happens. So the current 4 hour is still bullish. It's still bullish. Has sort of rejected the top side. So if it's actually rejecting the top side, we can see further sales below this level. Until then, we are waiting for sales. So the current 2 hour candle is going to close in the next 11 minutes. That's where the London market opens up. The price is still lingering around the daily resistance. Yep, we are sort of rejecting the top side. The current 15-minute candle has made its high. That's a good sign. Let's see. we are just waiting and waiting here. Hopefully GJ can pay us today as well. So the structure is coming into play. Let's just wait and see how the market is going to push today's GJ price. So the current 1 hour has 8 more minutes left for its close. Let's see. Is it going to reject that level? Is this current 1 hour going to close below this potential resistance, or is it going to close above? An ideal situation for the buy will be when this candle closes above this resistance, and we will wait for the next candle to retest this level one more time with a wick, then further continue up. So we are gonna wait for 8 minutes, and the market's gonna tell us where it's gonna move. So the current 30-minute candle has made its lower wick. That's a good sign, but it's still on the top of this range. If this right here was a range, price is still in that range. We need this candle to leave this range and the next candle to reject this range and further move up. We have to wait and see what happens. Everybody in the Zoom just so calm and waiting. That's amazing, guys. I don't think you're over trading. I don't think this is the 100th trade of the day. Don't tell me this is like a 5th trade of the day. You have to be calm and patient, man. If you're looking to compound your account, just wait for another day, right? There's no over trading and no over risking. You have to sort of be really calm and just enjoy the price action and the process, right? There's no rapid acceleration or a rapid nitro button that you have in trading. You have to go slow and you have to love the process. There is no acceleration. See, we know that this current 1 hour candle is going to take 6 more minutes. We can't accelerate this candle. We have to wait. So we have to know how to be patient. Okay, the structure tells me that there's still potential for buys, but we are waiting. We are not in any sort of buys, any sort of sells yet. The market's collecting its order, so we are just waiting. Just waiting. Make sure when you're waiting, you keep yourself calm, drink a lot of water, calm yourself, and be in your best form of discipline. Don't just rush in any trade, man. I'm out here and I know that I need to earn money, right? I have to put food on my plate, but I'm not rushing in any trade. I know I know that I have to accelerate on my account and I have to grow my account, right? But I am just calm and patient. It should be the same on your side. You gotta stay patient. We haven't taken any position yet. We are still waiting. Are we gonna get a rush of volume on the upside? Are we gonna get a rush of volume on the upside? The structure is looking good for a bullish movement. We are gonna wait. We are gonna wait, my friend. So the current 1 hour has 2 more minutes left for its close. So the question for the current 1 hour candle is this current 1 hour candle going to close below this recent resistance? Or is it going to close above? Are we going to get that volume push on the upside? Just wait and see. Are we gonna get that volume push in our direction? Two more minutes. So we are halfway through the 4 hour candle. And the idea about the liquidity grab on the top side for the 4 hour can be valid, right? So we are just waiting for this 4 hour either to flip down or this 1 hour to close above the 151.260 mark. Is this price actually rejecting the top side? What's happening? We gotta ask the current 1 hour candle. Okay, so the 15-minute candle is still bullish. So that looks good. It's actually creating a support here. So if this support is held, maybe the next 1 hour candle and simultaneously 15.30 could grab its lower liquidity before moving up. That could be a good sign for an impulse entry too. Until and unless that happens, we have to wait. Sorry. Okay, so if this current 15-minute candle grabs its liquidity on the downside before moving up, that'll be perfect. So are we getting London push on the top side? Are we going up? London, are we going up? Is the GJ moving up? Let's see if this current 15-minute candle makes a low and starts heading up, breaking the highs, maybe an impulse. on the break of this high could be nice. We have to be mindful about the stop loss. Maybe the stop loss could be somewhere around, after this candle makes its low, maybe it could be below that low, right? But it shouldn't be more than your risk plan. It should be decent. The structure definitely tells us, you know what? There's higher chance of buys, but the previous 1 hour candle closed below this recent 1 hour resistance. So impulse is a very hard idea, a very difficult idea. I don't encourage anybody to take any sort of impulsive buys, impulsive sales, any sort of impulsive position. But now the current 1 hour is obviously looking good. If it's actually grabbing its liquidity on the bottom side to further move up by breaking this resistance with momentum, perfect. But we gotta wait. We gotta wait for this price to break this previous 1 hour high and potentially this high as well, if it's gonna move up. So the low the current 1 hour price tapped is 151.205. That's the psychological level. So if that is adding to our confluence, perfect, man. That's perfect. But we are not in any sort of positions yet. We are still waiting for the price to move in our direction. It hasn't turned in our direction yet. We gotta wait. It has made that lower wick perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually place a buy stop here, this level. Once it hit that level and I'm up 10 pips, I'm closing all the position in just one go. That's what I'm going to do. So the 1 hour has made its lower wick. And 15-minute tells me that, you know what, I am tapping this support, I'm rejecting this support, I'm trying to leave this area. So the 15 tells me it's actually leaving the area, but I need the price to actually break this level for any sort of cleaner buys, impulsive buys. Maybe the volume is going to bring in the price today. Let's wait and see. Is the volume going to bring us some money today? I don't recommend taking impulse entries to anybody. If you're experienced and you know what's happening around, you know your risk appetite, you know your maximum risk, perfect. Otherwise, man, I just suggest just wait. Wait. Because the ample amount of opportunities in Forex market, it doesn't go away. You know, you're going to get opportunities today, you're going to get opportunities tomorrow, you're going to get opportunities always. So just gotta wait. Just gotta wait. So the current 5-minute candle is actually around this 5-minute resistance level. Let's see what this 5-minute tells us. Is it still gathering some orders? What is it doing? So the current 5-minute is going to close in the next 40 seconds. Is the volume going to come in our side? What is the volume going to do? Is it going to come in our side, or is it going to push the price down? Let's see. We should always look into lower time frames for any sort of details, right? So let's see if the volume is going to push the price up. If it's actually going to push the price up, perfect. Perfecto. So the current 1 hour has tapped 151.205 as its psychological level. So if we can add that to our confluence, that will be perfect. We are still waiting. Is the push gonna come on the upper side? Let's see what's happening. What's going to happen? Let's see, GJ, come on. Mr. GJ. The price is above the daily resistance. There's clear traffic on the left-hand side of the higher time frame. If the volume and the momentum's on our side, and we can read that, you know what, the current 1 hour is leaving this level, then perfect. We just need the volume being induced in the market. So this wick right here tells me that, you know what, this current 1 hour candle, current 15-minute candle, 30-minute candle is sort of leaving this area. So it tells me that I'm actually leaving this area. So if it's actually leaving that price level, perfect. That will be a good impulse. Yep. Price is pushing in our direction. Let's see. Let's see if GJ is gonna pay us. Mr. GJ, are you gonna pay us or something? Everything looks good for the buy. We just need the volume on our side. After all, it can do whatever it like, you know, the price can actually do whatever it like at the end of the day. So we have to be on the go to manage our position. So if there's any sort of abrupt rejection after you take position right around here, not a market execution, a pending, right? If you take it there in man, oh man, you have to be on the go to manage your position. On the go. Everything else looks good for a buy. We're just waiting. Woohoo! It's pushing up. It's pushing up. Let's go, GJ. I got friends in the Zoom to be paid for. They want to get paid, mate. Let's go. So the spread activated the position. So this is going to be the ultimate target here. And the stop loss is around this level. So if I see any sort of abrupt rejection, I'm just going to close my position. Except for that, man, everything seems good. The current 1 hour has tapped a psychological number on the downside, also telling me that, you know what, I'm leaving this area. It tells me that I'm actually leaving this area, see? So if this wick here, tells me that, you know what, I'm leaving this area, perfect. But if I see any sort of abrupt rejection, man, I'm closing this position. So what I'm going to do is I will head to the smaller time frame for my active trade management. I never hesitate to actually cut my losses. I actually just cut my loss. If I feel like, if I'm not comfortable, I close my position on the go. So you should be like that too. Oh yeah, Nick, I am. So the spread activated it. So everything looks good. This is just perfect. We just need the volume. 1 hour, 5 minutes, everything tells me, you know what, I'm going up. So it's in our direction. So it should be perfect. Hey Nick, how's it going, man?
Oh, good. So you didn't wait for the candle to close?
No, I didn't, man. Because it's volume time. It's a long session. And
okay,
everything.
So this is an impulse trade.
Yes, an impulse trade. So because the structure is on our side, the price has left the area. The wick on the downside tells me that, you know what, there's a higher chance that the price could continue up. So that's another thing. And if the Tokyo market got corrected, it can actually further continue up with London's volume and respect the momentum, right? It actually has broken the recent resistance, so it can further continue up. But the price right now is retracing down, so we obviously want to see volume, because for any impulse entry, any sort of trade to work, there has to be volume, right? We have to see volume coming in. If there's no volume in, don't trade. So Nick, obviously, because it's an impulse, I am on the go to manage my position. If my maximum risk was 10 pips or 11 pips, now I'm only wanting to lose maybe 6, 7, or even 6, 7, or even half of my loss, right? So I'm going to cut down my loss once it starts moving abruptly in my direction. For now, the price is doing what it does. You know, it's grabbing its liquidity. We need volume in the market, man. We need volume. It's a very dangerous.
What was your condition to trade, to trigger the trade there? Like when it touched that level, that yellow line?
Yes, so the buy stop was identified according to my trading plan for me, and I just placed it there, you know, anticipating volume and the structure, whatever the price did.
Okay. So
and
pending order.
Yes, it's pending. Yep, activated by the spread. So it's looking okay until now. So let's just wait and see. If I'm gonna see any sort of crazy rejection, man, I'm just gonna close the position. So I'm just gonna let this run. So let's just see. If it's gonna come back to the previous 5 minutes open price around this level, I'm gonna close all of the position around here. Otherwise, there's nothing against my bias, so it's perfect. Let's just see. Obviously, it's an advanced idea about impulse entry. Not many people get it, you know, not many people know how to apply risk on it. So if this is gonna work, man, oh man, perfect. Otherwise,
you are going to manage your trade based on 5-minute time frame?
Yes, sir. So what I'm gonna do is, if the price is gonna go anywhere closer to this green 5-minute candle's open price, this level, 151.245 level, 151.245 level, I'm gonna close all of the position, because I don't want to risk all of my risk, right, in a single trade. So what I'm gonna do is, if it's gonna move in my direction, perfect. If it's not gonna move in my direction, and if it's gonna start rejecting, I'll close and wait for a better entry. Because if there's gonna be a further continuation of the momentum, we have to see some sort of rejection. We have to see some sort of retest. Sorry for the words, lagging words. Our motive says, I think the market will fly till 141.470. It can actually fly up. So we are just waiting.
So AK, do you trade both London and New York?
Yes, sir. Because
which action is easier for you, in your opinion? Yeah, your experience.
So I've actually been profitable in both London and New York, because I know my risk management, you know what I mean? So I never over risk or something, and I've actually been profitable because of maybe my risk management, even in London, even in New York. So I like both of the session. There's nothing telling me I can't trade London. So I don't think London is hard, man. It's actually a lot more easy. It's just a matter of waiting. So sometimes I trade New York because I just have extra time. Do you see what I mean?
I see, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, both of them have been profitable for me. So it's good. So all right, so what Yep, go on, Nick.
Oh, the candle is closed, so...
Yep, so the candle closed above 151.260 level, which is good. So if this
Okay.
current, so what I'm going to allow this current 15-minute candle is, if it's going to head down, I'm going to allow this candle to retest 151.260 level and then further head up. If it's going to go bearish till this level, I'm fine. I'm okay. So
Nice,
if it's
nice,
going to retest that level, it's going to head up. Perfect. So we anticipated volume, but we haven't seen any sort of volume push in our direction. We still have to wait. As I said, I'm going to manage my position on the go. So if you guys are not familiar with any sort of risk management tricks for impulse entries, be careful. Always get into a trade that you know ideas about, right? So you cannot just be in a trade if you don't know how to manage a risk in that trade. I mean, the positions, the market is looking good in terms of its structure. Market is looking good in terms of trading time, because this is the prime volume time, right? If we're going to see any sort of volume around this time and in our direction, that'll be perfect. That will be perfect. I'm just going to allow this to go to this level. I have to be active in terms of risk management. Manage the risk on the go. Is the current 1 hour candle rejecting the top side? Or is it going to further continue up? Okay, so the current 30-minute candle is going to close in the next 12 minutes. So we got to wait for 12 minutes here. So the current 15-minute candle has retested 151.260 level. So if it's going to further move up, perfect. If it's going to go down, man, I'm going to manage my risk on the go. That's what I'm going to do here. So the current 5-minute candle is sort of rejecting the downside, but it's still bearish. I have to be very careful. Very, very careful. So Wednesday, impulse entry. Let's see. I have 11 more minutes. 11 more minutes. Is this current 15-minute candle gonna close up? Is it grabbing its liquidity on the downside, or is it rejecting the top side? I have to wait and see. If it's grabbing its liquidity on the downside, man, perfect. But I should have ideally waited for a close, right? Since it was breaking highs. It was a good idea for impulse. Obviously, there was no volume on our side, so we're still waiting. And I'm on the go for risk management, because I know if I if I don't get profitable in this setup right now, I can get another trade in New York, or I can manage my risk, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to wait for the price to reach 151.245 level. Once it's going to hit that level, I'm going to close all of my position, and I'm going to wait for a proper position, or a proper setup to show up, and that's how I'm going to manage my risk. So the current 5-minute candle has 4 more seconds. Let's look at the 1 minute too. We should always manage our position looking at the smaller details and see how the price is telling a story, right? So let's just wait and see if the price is going to bounce above 151.260, or is it going to hit my 151.245 level. On the go risk management. on the go risk management.
So okay, you are going to close your entire position when the price retraces back to the level 151 to 250.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why like is that? So why didn't you put your stop at that level?
And I have closed all of my position here. I have closed all of my position here. So, Nick, sorry, what were you saying? Sorry, Nick.
If you will close the entire position at that level.
Yep.
So why didn't you put your stop level as your stop loss at that level instead of close manually?
Cause my trading plan is to have minimum stop loss like 8 or 10 pips, just to let my trade breathe a little bit, right? So I have to let my trade breathe a little bit. If it's gonna breathe in, if it's gonna make a wick and head up, that's perfect, right? So that's sort of my rule. So it helps me manage my position well when I have like a decent amount of stop loss. I don't like the idea of putting like 20, 30 pips of stop loss because it doesn't make sense for me. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to put a stop loss, for example. I'm not going to put a stop loss right here because it doesn't make sense. Because the current candle can actually retest that level anytime and then further move up. So it's like telling to the market, you know what, just get my position. I'm giving you money. Do you see what I mean, Nick? I have to let my trade breathe. That's why my stop loss is there, below the low of the previous candle. So that was actually really good risk management, man. I actually risked. I actually lost really less than I anticipated. So that was good. So the impulse entry, despite the fact that there was structure, didn't work. So it is what it is. We will obviously get a setup if the market's actually setting up for further move around London volume time in the next half an hour, next 1 hour. That's perfect. We just gotta wait. Now I have to see for any sort of like 100% confirmation trade. I cannot just take an impulse now. I can't rush in any sort of impulse now. If this price is going to go up, it is what it is. That was on the go risk management. So I should have ideally waited for a close above 151, 260. So the current 1 hour candle is rejecting the top side. Wow. It's actually rejecting the top side and the price is back in the range. Just look at it. Price is back in the range. So Aaron here says, hey man, I think you should have waited for the close. It didn't close above resistance. It's now pulled back in the range and you're holding unnecessary drawdown, which could have been avoided if you just waited. I've learned the hard way to always wait for the close myself. That's actually right, Aaron. That's actually legit. That it's always a good idea to wait for the close. I didn't wait for the close because I anticipated volume, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Obviously, the 15-minute the previous 15-minute closed above the 151.260 level, right? If you look at the 15-minute, it did close above, but this candle right here is doing the fuckery, so it's just unavoidable at that point of time for impulse sort of entry. So again, my plan was an impulse entry, so it is what it is. I risk and I lost less than what I anticipated, so it's perfectly fine. So if sales are coming in, I'm going to wait for the price to close below 151.25. There's no jumping in any impulse entry now because I've already used my risk and I have only a small percentage left. Just gotta wait. Look at this. The current 1 hour is almost like engulfing the previous 1 hour. This is wow. Just wow. And the current 4 hour is also rejecting the 4 hour resistance, which is good. So our overall wholesome idea is to seek for sales. So if sales are going to play out, perfect, in an overall wholesome time. But for sales, we have to wait for price to close below 151.25 at least to start with. So I'm going to wait for this current 1 hour and hourly time frame to tell me what the market wants, because it's actually back in the range. This is just a range. So if this is a range, if this right here is a range and the price is still in a range, I have to see the price leaving that area. I'm just gonna wait. Just gonna wait. That's the best thing I could do. So this was the spot where we took the impulse entry, anticipating volume. So volume didn't show up. So obviously this current candle is doing what it is doing. So we just gotta wait now. Just wait and see. Wait and see some sort of close. So the current 13-minute candle is going to close in the next 1 minute. The current 13-minute candle has broken the previous 30-minute high, has broken the previous 30-minute low. So this is pure fuckery right here. It's very dangerous. Now what I know is I would actively stay away from this zone. Anything in this zone is going to fuck me up. I know it. So I have to stay away from this zone. How can I stay away from this zone? I have to wait for the price to close either above or either close below. To start with, at least a 30-minute, right? And then 1 hour for a stronger confluence. Other than that, I think London's just going to range now because we haven't seen any volume. We haven't seen any volume. So the London's staying here. It has corrected the Tokyo's move. So if you look at it, if this was the Tokyo downside push, London has actually corrected it already. And if it's in a range, it's just bouncing up and down. So this is just pure fuckery. We have to wait and see. The current 1 hour has 30 more minutes left for its close. The current 15-minute candle has broken the previous 15-minute support. Price is still in a range. Yes, sir. This served almost like a fake out here. So this right here served almost like a fake out, this area right here. Let's just wait and see what the price does. Is it going to further continue down and break this support? And then retest and head down. Let's see if we can get any sort of move from the span of now to the New York session. So now I gotta wait for a confirmation. No impulse entry. No impulse entry. I hope everybody managed their position wisely. You know, you always gotta manage your position on the go. So Tuesday, my friend. Price is still in a range here. This is just a range. Let's look at the gold as well. I mean, we focused on GJ looking at the structure. Oh, looks like the sales played out pretty well here. Wow. Wowie kawaii. Hmm. So the Tokyo market is going to close in the next 1 hour and 24 minutes. Hopefully we get some volume around that time. So right now there's no volume in GJ. It's like a zero volume day. Zero volume day. Price is still in a range. There's not much of an action happening here. And this is what the GJ is doing right now. So the current 4 hour has 1 hour and 24 minutes left for its close. So is the current 4 hour rejecting the top side to further continue down? The price is still in a range. Now the price is lingering around this daily resistance level. So interesting level, or very interesting level. I definitely still see more of a upside, so we have to sort of wait. Today's Wednesday. I mean, Wednesday's been no volume day today. It was like no volume. The structure was there. Price almost did what we wanted to do. And man, oh man, the impulse didn't work out at all. It didn't work out at all. So definitely no impulse when there's no volume. So the anticipated volume didn't show up. So we have to wait for the price to move around another volume time. So what's the next time there's going to be a potential volume? Maybe around Tokyo close, so around the next 1 hour and a half. Otherwise, we're going to see volume around pre-New York and New York Open NYSE. So just gotta wait until then. The price structure was there for buys. I mean, man, oh man. Price is acting really interesting in this area. It's very interesting. It's tapping that daily resistance almost. It's actually retesting that level many times. Just look at this. Just retesting that level, retesting. The current 1 hour has 20 more minutes left for its close. 20 more minutes. Current 15-minute is still bullish. Lingering around this daily resistance. I'm just gonna wait for the candles to close above or below. So until then, there's nothing, man. If the guys in the Zoom you have anything to ask or anything to look at, just shoot me. Shoot me up. Oh, so on the YouTube, Dot Fix says, don't you think it'll be best for a wait for 30 minutes? That's right. Dot Fix, you are correct. So it's a good idea to wait for any higher time frame close, as that adds to the confluence. So my trade plan was a impulse entry plan where I was anticipating volume. So as we didn't see any volume in our direction, so the trade idea just got invalid. And I closed my position once it started retracing down and started going down in abrupt manner. So this candle right here, these red candles are the funny candles, right? So in an ideal setup, that shouldn't be happening, where it's breaking the low. It's like crazy. So that's why I closed my position. .fic. But it is what it is, you know. You should be okay with red days as well. There's not going to be green days or blue days all the time. You should be on the go for your risk management. If you're on the go for your risk management, that's it. You've done it. Perfect. That was a really good risk management day here today. I do see my key levels playing out around the other volume times. So if there's going to be no volume and the price is just going to bounce around these corridors here. That's fine, because I know when the price consolidates in a higher time frame, the break is going to be really strong. So, and in an overall movement in the higher time frame, I am anticipating a sell sort of a movement, downside move. So if that's coming in, perfect. Until then, I'm just waiting for any proper setup. So I am just waiting now. I'm going to wait for a higher time frame candle to close in my direction now. Not an impulse entry, because that's my next trading plan now. Since I've risked some of my percentage, I have to be really wise on the next move. If this candle moves in our direction, you know, it is what it is. So that was a really good trade risk management day here. Really good risk management day. Hopefully the guys, they manage their position too if they took any sort of impulse entry. So the current 4 hour has 1 hour and 15 minutes left for its close. It's still bullish, still around this daily resistance vicinity. So the current 2 hour is going to close in the next 1 hour and 15 minutes as well. Looking at the hourly, it's going to close in the next 15 minutes. It's very close to this recent resistance. Sort of did like a wick, top wick, the top high break, and break at this high as well. Started heading down. It's very funny. So let's see what this current 1 hour tells us in the next 14 minutes. A no volume day. London session, a no volume day. $14 more minutes. So the current 1 hour is going to close in the next 11 minutes. What is this current 1 hour doing? Is it actually, did it just respected previous 1 hour's low and grabbed some liquidity down here for further continuation up? It's going to tell us in the next 11 minutes. Is it going to close above 151 to 60 level? Let's see. Let's just wait and see. So if the trade is going to move in our direction now, after wicking us so hard down, that's just too ugly, right? The structure was bullish. The volume just didn't move in our direction. So it is what it is. Just gotta wait for this hourly to tell us what it's gonna do. So guys, in the Zoom, if you guys have anything to talk about, man, just pop it up there in the chat and we will have a go at it. So we are just looking at some of the price actions. There's nothing much appealing in GJ. You know, gold actually was the move. There was really nice sells in gold here earlier. But anyways, it is what it is. there could be further sales coming in around New York for gold here, because the structure is heavily bearish structure. Is there any major US news today? No US news. So US FOMC. Okay. Look at pound yen. It's moving in our direction now. It is actually respecting the previous 1 hour's low. Man, oh man. This cheeky little bastard, GJ. GJ is a cheeky little bastard. Cheeky little bastard. So the 4 hour has 1 hour left for its close, and it's actually really bullish right now, and it's above 151.260 level as well. This is a very cheeky way of GJ moving up after liquidifying all of the traders, taking buyers here. It just, man oh man. Oh, look at the current 1 hour. It's just so funny. Man. Man, oh man. Look at it. Look at this. What? What, GJ? Dude? Now you're moving in that direction? Man. Really funny. Price action is really funny today, so it's better to stay away from the market when market is behaving in such a weird way. So the 1 hour, if this 1 hour potentially closes about 151.260 and the next 1 hour sort of retest this level, then further continue up, that would be a good setup. Because around the close of the 4 hour, we usually see either a push in the direction or retest or a retracement. So if there's going to be further push of the London volume, that'll be good. We are almost 1 hour in the London session open. So let's see. Are we any good for 151.400 today? Are we any good for 151.400 today? Are we any good? Any good? Wow. If this current 1 hour candle closes above 151.260, it's a fishy situation. You know why? Because if it's going to close above 151.260, the guys with original bias for buys, they will try to jump in this trade. And what the next 1 hour candle after this candle closes can do is a similar sort of a maneuver where it actually liquidifies traders who take buys here after the close. Because people are waiting for a close, right? So when this 1 hour candle is going to close above 151.260 level, like a bullish candle around this level, And when the new traders jump in, it can very well go down and wick like this candle, because the candles copy what the previous candles do, right? Almost copies it. And if the next candle goes down and wicks people out, man, that's going to be an ugly situation, because it can actually do that. So it's better to stay away from this range. This is a bad cheeky range. Sells, yes, below this level. For buys, man, oh man, no. This is a big no level. The current 1 hour is going to close in the next 20 seconds. So the question for this 1 hour candle is it going to close above this 151 260 level, or is it going to close under? This is such a great trap, man, for traders, man. Because I know what's going to happen next. I'm going to stay out of this trade. Look at this candle, the way it closed dodgy. That's the worst price action ever. Dodgy candle. What? Man, that means nothing happened there. It just gathered in a bunch of order and just liquidified a lot of traders. This is too bad. Dodgy candles, I don't like it at all. So even if it's gonna push up, it is what it is. Just part of the price action, just part of the trading. And that was a really good trade management skill that I used today. I allowed my trade to breathe in. I saw that abrupt rejection, closed my trade once it hit that level, and amazing. Obviously, not all days are green and blue days. That's fine, because we still have a Thursday and Friday coming on. And we still have a London session left for today. So that is perfect. On Thursday, we have a yen holiday, and on Friday is a good day. Friday is a clean day. That's good. So we will look to capitalize on these days. For now, honestly, this is too bad of a price action to be in. You wouldn't want to be in this sort of price action. Yeah, gold was the trade today that we missed out on. This was a perfect scenario on gold. We just missed out pretty bad on it. This would have been the trade today. Price made the low, price made a high, a lower high, a resistance. The next candle almost did a perfect retest to the resistance and started leaving this level, started heading down, retesting the support, started breaking further down, so we missed on it. Gold was the trade. Perfect trade today. Perfect trade today. If you look at the 30-minute, see how this candle closed here, bearish. That was really nice. This candle, sorry, this candle closing bearish was perfect, and entries would have been after this candle retracing up and started breaking the low. Then that would have been a perfect entry. That would have been a perfect entry. That would be like first 10 pips, 22 pips, 30 plus, but we missed out on the gold. Anyways, we're gonna check back into gold. The next day we are gonna capitalize on it. So GJ, the price is still in a range, is a very funny price action. A lot of wicks here and there on 30. We haven't seen a consistent market in GJ for some time. And as my friends, they suggest yesterday's price action was funny too. So that's not any good. I mean, I can obviously see around NYSE there was a really good push. Really good push here. We gotta wait and see what happens in the New York today, because obviously anything inside this range is gonna be ugly. So we have to see if this momentum from yesterday, if this momentum gonna carry on, because the price moving sideways in a box right now can validate that, right? If it's actually moving like this, collecting orders and doing its fuckery to all these traders, it can very well move up. It can. We have to wait and see at New York session. For now, there's nothing. For me, especially, there's nothing in GBP/JPY. I'm just gonna wait. And ZD-CAD. Let's look at Jamil's pair here. So NZD-CAD is also around here, around the support. There's no sales. And let's look at GA. GA. GA is around the funny bits as well. Ideally, I would want to see sales for GA as well. We will have to wait for the volume. That's correct. We have to wait for the volume. There's no acceleration. There's nothing else we can do except for wait for volume. So we have to wait. So the current 4-hour candle is going to close in the next 53 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait here. I'm going to sit around the stream for the next 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to gather all the energy for the New York session, because I will have to see if I can do something in the New York, right? Otherwise, man, have to head off. Thank you, Anuj, for the session. The market is too slow. Hope New York will have more volume. Thank you, Ricardo. Hope we do. Hope we do. So if it's going to consolidate like this, we obviously going to get some sort of push in either way direction. So we have to wait for the confirmation and capitalize on it. Thank you, Ricardo, for showing up. Man, everybody in the Zoom, man, you guys are amazing. Coming here and supporting me. It's amazing how we are trying to grow a small community of Forex traders, sharing ideas, looking at the charts in London session, and this is beautiful. Thank you to Ricardo, thank you to Nick, thank you to Motsa, thank you to Jamil, and thank you to Anon. Anon is pretty new here. Hi to Anon, and this is just amazing. Amazing. So Ricardo's gonna see me on Friday. I will not be able to make it tomorrow. That's fine. So that will be good. That will be good. We will see you on Friday. Friday looks really clean. So hopefully we get moves on Friday. That's gonna pay us for the week, for the weekend. So that was a really good trade management day. Honestly, one of the best trade management days. Manage a trade on the go. Everything was calculated. Sometimes if the volume doesn't come and if the volume is not induced in the market, we obviously don't see pushes. But man, that was good. Good day. Price action noted. This candle, the red candle, was the fuckery candle, which broke the high, which broke the low, and is just gathering orders here. I call this the fuckery candle. This right here. Fuckery candle. But it's fine because we still have some risk left for the New York for today. So hopefully we get something. Hopefully. Oh, so Jason Johns here. Oh, I'm just looking into the YouTube messages. We got Jason Johns here saying, should I sell? And he says, how long I have to sit on it if I sell. Okay, let's go to different prayer. I subscribe. Low, can I ask a serious question? You can definitely ask any question you want, Jason. Jason Johns. Mr. Jason Johns here in the house. Obviously, price is in the top of this range. You know, if you look at this range, price is in a range, and the price is in the top of the range, Jason. But you don't want to be in any sort of position in this range. This is just invalid, not good. Not good at all. So you want to wait for the price to actually break above, and for the retest, then continue up or break below and head down, man. That will be the best position to be. Everything inside here is just a big no-no. Big no-no, Jason. Thank you, Nick. I will see you. Nick's gone. Oh, Nick's here. Okay. Makes sense. That's right, Jason. It does make sense. You know, we gotta wait. We didn't wait for the price to close today, so we took an impulse entry with a specified risk to take, and the volume didn't kick in, right? So the price is still ranging. If the volume had kicked in or was induced in the market, that would have been something to, you know, enjoy and look after for today. But we obviously just ranged back in the range, and we did all this fuckery right here. This was pretty bad. We don't want to see this. So just gotta wait. Maybe around New York we're gonna get some good moves. So in New York as well, I'm gonna wait for the price to close below and then retest and for the move. or close of up. And for the move up, until then, it's just a wait time for me. No impulse entries, no nothing. I'll actually look and see if I can actually capitalize on any sort of gold movement, because gold is showing some bearish structure today. So let's see what happens if we could get any sort of sells in gold. Are we gonna get any sort of sells? What other pairs are good right now? So Jason, pairs, I mean, you have to get used to the price behavior in any sort of financial instrument. So we look at a few charts here, but me personally, I trade pound, yen, and gold. That's it, just two of these guys. I sometimes look in. I used to look at GBP CAD before, but I stopped looking at GBP CAD because of all of the consolidation. Price consolidates like this. For example, if you look at the gold, you wouldn't want to be here. If you look at the gold, and if you look at this, look at all the wicks here. This is too ugly. Man. You don't want to be here. So you don't want to be in that consolidation, right? You want to be in a consistent market. So I stopped looking at GBP CAD and I just focused on pound yen and gold USD. So currently, the current 4-hour candle has 45 minutes left for its close. As we determine the price is in a range, is fucking up people around this level. The current 1 hour is heading down, so it's in the middle of the range. You don't want to be in any sort of position there, trust me. And the 15 minutes breaking its low and it's rejecting. Man, this is just too ugly, honestly. I would ideally want to wait for New York session now. So what I'm going to do is I'll actually end this stream. And that was actually a very nice trading day. We managed our risk on the go and everything was perfect except for volume. So next time, hopefully in London session, we're going to get a volume that's going to run our price to some pips, right? So until then, thank you, Jamil. Thank you, Motop. Thank you, Nick, for showing up. And thank you to everybody else who showed up on the YouTube, on the Zoom, man. That was perfect. So we try to make these streams as much as educational as possible, right? We discuss ideas here and there. So thank you for showing your spirit, your support to the community, and best of luck. Stay calm, stay patient, and build your trading plans, you know, and just focus on your pairs. Don't overtrade, don't over risk. Just focus on your daily goals and know your daily risk and run according to your plan. That was amazing. Thank you, Mozart. Thank you so much. Thank you to Jason Johns here. You're welcome. Come back. Yeah, sure, 100%. We're going to come back from Monday to Friday. We're going to stream London session every day. Consistent. We're going to show consistency in that too. Right? We're going to come up here every time and show up to the market and milk out whatever possible. We will milk out whatever possible from the market. And man, oh man, that was a good trading day. Thank you guys. And I'm ending the stream right here.